Dang. Call me so I can make it juicy for you.
Hey guys, Willie here. Excited to bring you today's video. It's actually going to be an emergency patch 14.19 video. I usually don't make these for Udyr, but if you guys don't know, first off, your ranks are about to get reset on Wednesday of this week. If you guys don't know, there's 3 splits to every season. I don't know why, but essentially these days your rank resets. With it comes a lot of changes. Of course, it's their way to experiment out and try new things. And patch 14.19 is going to be one of those huge patches that people might remember for a long time. Reason being is Riot is actually taking a huge step with items. If you haven't heard already, every item in the game is about to get nerfed, specifically with Udyr. I wanted to make a video, number 1, addressing the upcoming changes. Number 2, kind of talking about the builds that I will be playing on Wednesday to spam. And third, kind of a channel announcement, which is we're going to be doing an Unranked to Masters series. So we'll get on that in the back end. But first, let's go down the meat and potatoes of what you guys are probably here for, which is, Willie, how are you playing Udyr in patch 14.19? So there have been a ton of changes. In my humble opinion, there are 2 viable ways you can play Udyr right now. One is actually going to be in the background here. This background gameplay is from WilliefknP Udyr. So there's actually a new build I've been testing, and it performs extremely well. It's called WilliefknP Udyr. So just like lethality for armor build or AD builds, WilliefknP for Phoenix builds allow you to do a ton of damage to squishy targets. Meaning you're allowed to one-shot mid laners, ADCs, and all sorts of stuff with this build. The build, in case you guys are wondering what it is Dark Harvest with Storm Surge, Shadow Flame, Death Cap, or you can go Zonias, or you can go Malignant. It doesn't really matter, 3rd item onwards, but the core of the build is you're going to get Sork Boots, you're going to get a Dark Seal, you're going to get Storm Surge 1st item, Shadow Flame 2nd, 1 and 2, and then you're also going to look to upgrade your Dark Seal if you get a bunch of stacks, and you can get Mejai's. The reason why this build is so great is it's truly the hardest snowballing build I've ever played on Udyr. You can 1v1 people super well, but you also transition into a giant AoE team fighting champion past 20 minutes because you start picking up a ton of damage. Now, one thing I want to stress with this build is really bad into divers, so think of champions like Jarvan, Rel, stuff like that, Malphite, champions that want to be on top of you. This full AP build will not perform that well. In addition, the rune pages that I'm working with here for this setup is Dark Harvest with Gathering Storm and Celerity. I'll put it up on screen, just feel free to pause it here. But this is essentially the carry AP build that I'm using right now. Now, if you guys know, I've got a lot of full AP videos on my channel, and I still recommend you guys to try the Liandry's into Shadow Flame into Death Cap. That is still a super reliable build. However, I'm just having more fun with WilliefknP because you can truly one-shot people, and in my opinion, if you're having more fun, you're probably going to climb a little bit quicker than not, right? The other build that I will be spamming in patch 14.19 is a Tiger build. Actually, I think Tiger may be stronger than Phoenix next patch. Call me crazy. So there is a huge change coming to a lot of the items we like. But first off, Experimental Hexplate. Experimental Hexplate is about to get a huge buff. So number 1, it's not getting changed in how much gold it costs, but it's about to lose 15 attack damage, gain 150 health. So we're gaining, much more health instead of damage. And the recipe is about to have a phage in it. So to my understanding, we're about to have a phage passive on top of having a experimental stride breaker or experimental hexplate movement speed, which is incredible. The second item that's getting changed is stride breaker. Stride breaker is getting a little bit of a nerf. It needs a nerf. I think it's much needed, but it still probably will be core on Tiger Udyr. And then the third item that's going to be super good in patch 14.19 is actually going to be Hull Breaker. Hull Breaker is about to be 2,900 gold, 500 health, movement speed, and turret damage. I've been playing a lot with Hull Breaker in preparation for patch 14.19. I can't tell you how amazing this item feels on a Tiger build, especially if you go Demolish. Sometimes as my secondary runes, I'll actually go Overgrowth and Demolish as Tiger Udyr, And if you get turret plates plus a hull breaker in your build, you will be the scariest champion in a side lane mid to late game, because Udyr's attack speed works so well with the passive from hull breaker, which is essentially every 5th auto attack, does a ton of damage to turrets. And if you've got 2.5 attack speed from lightning Q, it's going to be super great. So patch 14.19 is going to be awesome. Some things that I want to note on, some general changes in the patch that are coming that I'm not too worried about. Liandry's, if you like Liandry's, go ahead and continue to build Liandry's. It is a perfectly good item. It is not going to get changed much. Yes, it's getting nerfed. That's great for game state, and it's great because a lot of these Udyr players are actually going to have to learn how to play Udyr instead of just relying on passive burn from Liandry's. But Liandry's is getting nerfed. I would encourage you guys to still build it if you guys want to. The other thing that I've been asked a lot on stream is, Willie, what do you think, about the upcoming changes in general to the game? So it's my understanding and my appreciation of Udyr is the fact that he is a bursty but DPS champion. The more health and the less burst that is in the game, the better for Udyr. And all of Udyr's abilities have percent HP on them. So I personally think every single change, we're about to go into a bruiser tank meta. ADCs are still going to be strong, just less dominant. I truly think Udyr is about to be an S tier champion in terms of overall game state. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think the ban rate's going anywhere. I would expect next season, or this split coming Wednesday, you're going to see a lot of Jarvans. You're going to see a lot of Kazakhs. You're going to see a lot of champions that can now finally be played in the meta. And players have been craving to play Xin Zhao, Jarvan, like I mentioned. He's always a fan favorite. Lee Sin we're probably going to see a lot of. Just prepare for the meta to shift and to see a lot more AD champions. With the shift in the meta, I personally don't think full AP Udyr is going to be as dominant as it has been. We've got a Liandry's tank meta that's been dominant. I think that play style will still probably be the best way to play Udyr at high elo. That being said, we're about to shift away from this bursty meta. Udyr is going to be more of a frontline presence, in my opinion. And I think that full AP, this Dark Harvest Magic Pen build that I've been building, not to say one way or the other, but I think it's about to get nerfed pretty hard. With all the HP that's about to be in the game, Magic Pen gets countered by high health targets because resistances don't matter if you've got 5,000 health, right? So I think the Magic Pen build is about to get nerfed a little bit. We'll see. And I also expect Liandry's is just going to be just as dominant, because if there's more health in the game, the Liandry's burn will be great, so on and so forth. Now let's talk about kind of what you guys can expect from a content and a stream standpoint. So I'm doing 2 schedules or 2 streams each day right now. If you guys don't know my schedule, it's okay. I don't really have one, but I have decided I'm going to stream in the morning from about 9 to 3 p.m. Central, and then I'll take a break from 3-4 hours, make a YouTube video like this, and then we'll stream at night. But in the middle of the day, I will be editing and recording YouTube videos. I am planning each morning stream to do an Unranked to Masters series. So we're going to have full-on Sweaty Willie. There's no duo boosting allowed and no tank items allowed. Deadman's Plate and Abyssal Mask are the only 2 tank items allowed in my builds. So we're going to do full damage Udyr to Masters. I'm going to try and edit that down for you guys, so stay tuned on that front as well. In addition, in patch 14.19, like I said, Udyr is going to be just as dominant as he already has been. I would encourage you guys to play either Hull Breaker with Stride Breaker and Experimental Hexplate. That's probably going to be the best build on Tiger Udyr. Or if you want to play Phoenix Udyr, you can still do Liandry's full tank, but I actually think the Magic Pen build will still be super, super dominant against the right team comps. For me personally, I'm having more fun with it, so I'm probably going to be playing that if I'm playing Phoenix at all next patch. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I just wanted to get you guys a quick little patch 14.19 emergency update, because it is a big update, and I also wanted to announce kind of the stuff coming up with the channel. Thank you for being here. If you want to catch me live, make sure to head to twitch.tv/WilliefknP. We will be streaming, like I said, 2 time blocks. So essentially, in the morning of NA and in the evening of US, you'll be able to catch me. Just make sure to follow me, and you should be able to catch me, whatever your time zone is, because I'm trying to cater to the entire world audience now to get the Twitch growing a little bit. Thank you guys. I'll catch you there, and see you then.
Dang. Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.